The two-week negotiations in Warsaw had been due to end on Friday. It was blocked over a timetable for the first UN climate accord that will set greenhouse gas emissions requirements for all nations. The agreement ended the deadlock between rich and poor about sharing out the burden of limiting emissions, blamed for causing more heat waves, floods, droughts, and rising sea levels. Under the last climate pact, the Kyoto Protocol, only the most developed countries were required to limit their emissions. This is one of the main reasons the United States refused to accept it, saying rapidly growing economies like China and India must also take part.
Let me congratulate you for your good work and for your spirit of compromise. We now have a pathway to the meeting in Paris.
China had insisted that developing nations should allow deep cuts in emissions while allowing emerging economies room to burn more fossil fuels to help end poverty. But the United States noted that all nations agreed in 2012 that the 2015 deal will be applicable to all and accused emerging nations of harping back to previous deals.
Well, at least the process still survives, ADP still survives, although we do see that we missed some opportunities. It was possible to have something stronger. Nevertheless, we have the minimum we need to continue next year to hopefully have something stronger.
Before last night, the only concrete measure to have emerged after 2 weeks was an agreement on new rules to protect tropical forests, which soak up carbon dioxide as they grow. Developed nation, which promised in 2009 to raise aid to $100 billion a year after 2020 from $10 billion a year in 2010, rejected calls to set targets for 2013 to 2019. NASA says a large iceberg has recently separated from the front of Antarctica's Pine Island Bay. NASA has released satellite images that show the iceberg both before and after the separation. The entire process began in October 2011 when NASA's Operation Ice Bridge first caught sight of the crack. The new iceberg is estimated to be 35 kilometers by 20 kilometers, roughly the size of Singapore. In July, infrared and radar images showed the crack appeared on the ice, cutting a glacier across. New satellite images now show the iceberg called B31 is finally moving away from the coast. A group of scientists which tracked the 700 square kilometer chunk of ice is trying to predict its path using satellite data.